So Sylvester Stallone's getting a divorce. It looks like his wife Jennifer Flavin filed for divorce in Florida. First thing I thought when he was getting divorced, I wondered whether there was a prenuptial agreement in place. He went into the marriage with a lot of assets, and a prenuptial agreement is an important document, an important tool that somebody with assets going into a marriage can use to safeguard those assets. They can also use it to define what the marital estate is and what laws would control the marital estate. Sylvester owned a house in California until recently. They also have a house in Florida. Right now he's working in Oklahoma. If there's a divorce filed in Florida, but he's never been in Florida, does Florida have jurisdiction over him? The income earned by a party during a marriage, states define that differently. Those are all questions, and a prenuptial agreement could address those questions. So that was my first thought when I read this. What did he do to protect his assets to begin with? The second big issue that I saw was that his wife alleged that there was dissipation, depletion, and waste of community assets. What that means is that he was spending money that he shouldn't have been. One potential example I saw is their house in Los Angeles was recently sold. It was originally valued at $80 million. It ended up being sold for $58 million. Adele purchased it, so maybe she's saying that he sold it to Adele as a friend at a discount. That's potentially a waste claim. A claim that the community estate was entitled to that full $80 million but only got the $58 million. And so she's entitled to be reimbursed for a further portion of the sale of that house. Asset divorces can be very contentious. Sylvester Stallone's come out publicly and said, we want to keep this private and amicable, but it's hard to keep something amicable when the other party immediately fires off that you've wasted money or depleted community resources. Which she has. So even though Sylvester Stallone is saying this is going to be amicable, the likelihood is that it's going to turn into a fight, and it's going to turn into a fight over resources. And how much is she entitled to? How much of it was from before the marriage and was a separate property? How much is it controlled by any potential prenuptial agreement? Who gets what? You know, she's also asking for exclusive control of the Florida mansion, which is worth $35 million. On top of that, Jennifer Flavin, she's not a slouch. She's a very successful woman in her own right. She owns a beauty brand that has total sales in excess of over $2 billion. She's still very successful and has her own assets to be protected in a divorce as well. If the Sylvester Stallone divorce makes it to trial, it could become a lot like the Johnny Depp case. It could just become a mess and drag out for an extended amount of time.